There you go, pretty straightforward. So what I'm going to do now is actually give Scratch Live control of Ableton Live. So actually search for a track in my library that's called Ableton. And there we go, that's the Ableton Live transport control. You can see there, it's in my library.
And it's called Dance Loops Demo Set. We flip over to the live set and look up at the top in our title bar there. And there we go, Dance Loops Demo Set. So we're working with the same thing, just to be really clear on that. Cool.
Cool. So let's load it up. And there it is, it's on the turntable.
So you drop that into deck B, you're controlling that with control vinyl. Talk to us about these little horizontal bars now that are showing up inside the viewer window on deck B.
Okay, so right there we have basically bar position 1 is represented by a thick wide line. The quarter note, the snare usually on a 4/4, typical 4/4 track. There is a small thin line, a wider thin line for the middle position of the bar, another quarter note, and then back to the business.
Great, so you're starting and stopping the transport in Live 8. So let's go ahead and roll with the control vinyl, do your thing there, and let's talk about how we're controlling the transport now in real time on deck B.
Alright, so basically,
there we go.
Now the pitch in Ableton is all being controlled by the turntable, so I've got my pitch set at, what are we at?
Yeah, that's great. We're going to look at Live 8 for just a second, and also take a look at the transport control in Live 8. Go ahead and maybe stop and start with the vinyl control there on deck B, and now you can see in Live 8 that we got full control over that transport. Okay, I want to make sure everybody's really clear on that. So let's go ahead and hop over to Scratch Live again, and now we'll just stay here, and we'll show a little bit more about the bridge. So we got synchronization on deck B. There's a couple of other ways that we can synchronize as well and keep everything rock solid.
Okay, so for those of you that want to use a traditional Scratch Live MP3 set, audio set, you can actually free up the decks and play back Ableton using the internal mode. You can see here the Ableton player on the left. So I can just go ahead and play back Ableton as normal.
Right, so now you're actually just engaging Ableton's transport just manually. Right? Exactly. What about synchronizing it up inside Serato? Scratch Live. There we go.
So I'll stop that for a second. So right now on the right turntable I have a new track, and what I'm going to do is actually sync Ableton up to that track. So you can see there, I click on sync, I have 4 different options to sync to. With the new 68, of course, you have deck 1, 2, 3, 4. The 57, you have decks 1 and 2.
We're talking about the mixer now, the Rain mixer, right?
Sorry, and the Rain SL3, you have 3 sources. So what I'm going to do is sync now to source 2, which is turntable on the right.
Right, so everybody follow along now. Now in deck B, he's actually loaded up an MP3 of audio. And Ableton is now synchronized inside what we call the Ableton player. So we've, in essence, freed up both decks, so we can 3 things going on eventually.
Exactly.
So, cool. Let's show how it works.
So let's set the downbeat.
So you can see the VU meters working inside Ableton Session View, inside the bridge interface here. Okay, so let's check it out. I'm going to go to the APC40 while he's doing his thing with the decks. With vinyl control, I could go ahead and launch a new scene. I go up and click on scene 1 on the APC40. And there you go. You can see the scene row from left to right. Inside Ableton, track 1 all the way across to the master section. Watch this. I'm going to go to scene 3, 2, 3, 4. Scene 3. He's doing his thing, working Rain mixer, working with EQ, working with a crossfader. So it's sort of a tandem performance, but obviously he can take his left hand and reach up here and work with Ableton as well. So Live 8 is completely synchronized inside Scratch Live, and you've also got control to launch different clips. I can also scroll as well. There's also a handy scroll feature like the APC40 has inside the Ableton transport too. It's not just about controlling myself in the APC40. Nick can do that too. You can control volume inside Live 8 Session View.
That's good. I got the volume sliders here.
Right.
You can see on the screen up there.
So we've got total control.
I've got send and return control. I can solo. Right. I can record. Stop all clips.
We've got device view. So if we want to bring in some of those classic Ableton audio effects, those audio devices, we've got those to the far left. You can see we actually have an EQ3 already set up, track by track. So
if we look at Ableton, you can see there the device EQ3 is selected in Ableton.
Right, track 3 is highlighted.
And then that's reflected in the Scratch Live GUI as well.
There we go. So take a step furder.
To show the mixing?
Sure. We're going to talk about mixtape now. One of my favorite features with the bridge. And as certainly as a